I'm recording this with zits on my face, flyaways in my hair, and yoga clothes I already worked out in. Because wellness isn't perfect, and you don't have to be perfect to show up. And I wanted to model that for you. Hi, I'm Dr. Stephanie Best. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, and I teach high achieving men and women who struggle with anxiety how to liberate themselves from fear so they can live more courageously and build lives they love. Here's the backstory for all this. So, we've talked a lot about psychological flexibility on this channel so far. Your ability to make space for all of your thoughts and feelings, even the uncomfortable ones, ground yourself in the present moment, and show up in your life in the way that matters most to you. Right? We've talked a lot about that so far, but we haven't talked enough about wellness, the whole person, the mind-body approach that's pretty central to both my clinical work and my life. Why is it central? It's central because it turns out it's a whole lot easier to be psychologically flexible when you're tending to your wellness. And when I think about wellness, I think about it in terms of four cornerstones, like the foundation of a house. Physical movement. How are you moving your mind-body system? Nutrition and hydration. Right? How are you feeding it and hydrating it, hopefully in ways that nourish it? Rest and recharge, right, which includes sleep, but also things you do that recharge your batteries when you're awake. And social connection, hopefully meaningful social connection with people who feed your soul and give energy back to you. Okay? It's so important to tend to those cornerstones of wellness. And like I said, it makes it a lot easier to be psychologically flexible. So this is how I've lived my life for a long time. And I typically do all the right things in terms of wellness pretty daily, regularly. And I still had insomnia last night. And I still woke up a little tired, a little draggy. I looked in the mirror. I had a nice constellation of perimenopausal zits on my face. I felt a little behind. And the story that my mind initially told me was, oh, I can't believe it. I got zits on my face. I'm recording a new video today. Great. All right. I'm going to have to put some concealer on, went into that whole perfectionism thing. And then, so that's an old story. That's old coding, old programming from past hurts, past wounds, sources that really aren't reliable and don't serve me. But then I heard another voice in there, one I've carefully cultivated for over 20 years. It's a wiser voice. It's the voice of my inner compass, my spirit, my knowing. And it said, no, we're going to do exactly the opposite. We're going to show up as is. Because, the pressure to look wellness ready, like some kind of freaking influencer on camera, was real. But recognizing that pressure and how damaging that can be and how much that can prevent us from showing up as the people we want to be, recognizing that is exactly why this needs to be said. Real wellness is adaptive. It's not performative, right? Doing all the right things doesn't produce a perfect body on a perfect day. It just means that you keep showing up with the body and the day that you actually have. The wellness as performance trap, I can't exercise because I didn't sleep enough. I can't show up because I look tired. I can't record this video for my YouTube channel today because I've got some zits on my face, right? All of that, that's just another flavor of this fear-run living. And, if you've been watching me so far, that is one thing I am no longer about, is letting fear take the wheel and drive this life of mine, because I did that for far too long. What makes wellness real is showing up anyway. And frankly, it's the honest, imperfect version of you that the world needs. And it's the version that actually makes psychological flexibility possible. A resourced body isn't a perfect body. It's one that's been nurtured with enough consistency and care to help you keep going, even when the external circumstances aren't perfect, because you might have noticed they're rarely going to be perfect. Okay? One thing to try today is notice when that perfection voice shows up in your mind around wellness, the one that says you're not ready or you don't look right. Okay? Name it. Oh, there's that perfection voice again. So many of my clients deal with this, almost everyone, I would say. They talk about how their mind wants it to be all or nothing. That if they had decided to start a movement practice, let's say, and they fall off for a week or 2 weeks, it feels like they have to take big steps to get back on track. I always say, ask yourself, what's the smallest, most meaningful wellness move that I can make with this day in this body, right? If a friend were feeling this way, what would I advise her to do? Right? Maybe I would say, well, first, I validate her. Can we validate ourselves like that? It's like, this is hard. I had a goal and I really felt like I was making progress. And now I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of back to square one, maybe even further behind, right? If a friend came to you and said that, I doubt very much that you would respond to them the way that the critical voice in your head responds to you. I always say to my clients, you would fire the voice in your head as a motivational coach. And why would you do that? A, because it's wrong. It's just wrong to treat ourselves that way. And B, it's ineffective. It's ineffective. At best, we are motivated in the short term only by whipping ourselves, right? Being a good friend to yourself, being truly motivational means validating yourself and then saying, okay, that's hard. It's hard to notice that you fell off the path. It's hard to notice that you haven't been showing up for yourself the way you committed to doing that, right? But what's one small thing that you could do today to get back on track? Something is better than nothing. Could you take a walk around the block, just to keep that intention going, right? Maybe I'll go walk with you. Let's go do this together, right? So it's not the same. Self-compassion, being a good friend, a good coach, a good motivational speaker to yourself is not about, blowing sunshine up your, what, and it's not about completely letting you off the hook. It's about holding yourself accountable, but in a warm, encouraging way that also says, you can do this. How about we slice it thinner? How about we take just that next step? And let's build from there. One brick at a time, we're going to build this foundation of our wellness house. So what if that walk around the block today could be enough? What if it's more than enough? What if it's exactly what you need and what will keep you on track for the long game? Can you do that one thing? And then notice how that feels, how that helps you to continue to move forward in your life. If this message landed with you, and if you're also tired of the perfectionist critic in your head, please subscribe. I post a new video every few weeks, and I'm going to keep showing up exactly like this. Real, imperfect, and bringing you everything I know from over 20 years of being a therapist and over 50 years of being a human. A human, not a human. There we go. We're going to model imperfection again. Take this to heart. All right. You're doing great. You're doing so much better than that critic in your head says you are. Check in, find that inner compass, find the kind voice. Do just the next thing. Lay one brick down in that foundation of your wellness house and show up and shine your light. The world needs you. I'll see you next time.